to ya. Mama Lane got me a St. Patrick's Day glass since we don't go to the bars yet. So now I have a glass I can drink at home.
So now you can sit at home, dump beer in it, and look, it's easier once you want to pass out. You're just already there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But I'm going to turn it into Christmas now because I'm drinking cranberry hard seltzer.
Oh,
so now I'm going to turn it a little bit pink. I didn't have any Irish beer, so.
So no Irish beer, so cranberry hard seltzer.
Cranberry hard seltzer, but it is my friend's place, so this is Blake's Hard Cider. So if you guys ever see this out anywhere, because he does ship it all over nationwide, that's my friend Andrew.
Ah, very nice.
I've known him since he was like 5.
It's always fun.
Mr. Dave.
Miss Brandy.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little spaced out today.
You're having a day. I saw you were having a day.
Oh, I was having a day. But, I mean, there was a start of that. I woke up this morning and I thought it was Wednesday. And that was the beginning of the end. And then I happened to look at, I don't even know what I looked at. And the next thing I knew, I just slowly lost my mind. Yes, Bob said he wasn't going to show up because I was on it. I said, yeah, that guy's a dick. Why would you want to go see him?
Well, let's say hi to everybody in the chat real quick. What's going on, Dallas? Ginger's actually in Michigan. I'm so excited. He's my
Ginger Pops. I'm in a group with him right now.
Oh yeah, for the swap.
Yeah.
And Nancy's here. Yeah, boy. The pain in the ass is here. Umpty. Matt, the culinary trapper's here. Mama J, what's going on, my dear? Who else is here?
The majority of my chat room is here.
Wow, Ross is here.
Ross
is here. Jeremy Knapp. Who else? Is anybody else? Bobbert. Ray Pops, how are you? Noel's here. Noel, how you feeling? Hey, Mitchie. Hey, Shep3.
Ross says he's not here.
Brandy is my favorite besides Dave. I'm going to screenshot that. Let's screenshot that. That's awesome.
What, that I'm your favorite, and now you're his second favorite?
Yeah, I'm his second favorite. I mean, that's saying a lot when it comes from Bart.
I mean, saying I'm your first favorite is a little scary. I question your judgment and your mental stability.
Absolutely. Well, we will get to your issues today in a little bit, but first of all, I wanted to talk about why we have you here tonight. And I'm sorry, but Troy, he might make it into the chat, but Troy's working late again tonight, so he's not going to make it for the show. So it is just Dave and I for your viewing pleasure this evening. But you have a charity auction coming up on April 2nd.
Yes.
So explain to me, and you may have answered this question a million times by now, but how you got involved with Puzzle Pieces Squared and why that is your charity of choice.
So Puzzle Pieces Squared is it was started and is run by a friend of mine who was I met him. So long story short, in a way, I had just left college for good at this point. I was in a bad mental spot and I weighed a hell of a lot and I was super out of shape. So I went to a gym and I met this guy, Jared, who turns out to be a fraternity brother of mine from a different college, and who pretty much helped me change my life. Now, I'm still not in shape by any means, but I could have been dead at 25 instead of alive at 40 if it wasn't for him. And over time, he became a really good friend of mine. He was more like a big brother than just a trainer. And I followed him between a few different places when he left jobs until he opened his own place. And we always kept in touch even after I left them all together, but for other things. So I left. Eventually, I went on to powerlift, and he doesn't powerlift. So, but we always kept in touch, and I knew his family very well. So he had twin sons, and found out at one that they were both autistic.
Okay.
And so through the years, I mean, insurance only covers so much, and sometimes nothing at all, and because they pick and choose what is needed. And he survived it all.
What, the last 5 to 7, 10, maybe 10 years that really the autism spectrum has really come to the forefront of more understanding with people like Jenny McCarthy and things like that coming out about having autistic children?
Yeah, I think it's coming to the forefront, but it's still not. Insurance still doesn't cover everything. So
Okay.
he started this charity to help families out, and if he could help one family at a time, or it started off real small, and then he got uh government the whatever. So he got where the
Like
government
grants or
recognizes
something?
where the government recognizes that you're a charity, so you're a nonprofit organization. So
What
he
is it?
got that
501(c) or something?
something like that. So he got that, and that way he could, be. Now it's more official. This happened years ago, but now it's more official instead of just being a guy raising money for something.
Okay.
Now he's a charity, and the point of the charity is to help out families that need the help, that are struggling because they have one kid or two kids that have it, and they can't get everything they need. And he asked people, like, it started off as one family, and then it was two families. Now it's like five families at a time, and he helps school systems get like the computers that they need to communicate with these kids, because sometimes the only way to communicate is through a computer, because
Okay.
or through videos or through an iPad or something like that. And the big thing was therapy, because the therapy is not covered and all that stuff. So I highly suggest you go check the site, because he explains it all a lot better than I can ever do. I mean, this was his baby project that's huge now. But for 2 years straight, he can't hold his big events that he always holds. And I'm like, I got to help this guy out. I have a way to do it, and I have a community that follows and appreciates stuff like this. And over the past 2 years, I mean, you've seen more and more customs happen. People are creating and coming up with cool ideas. I'm like, there's a way to do this. There's a way to take a customs and make it into an event. And I've done it before, and you've done it before. And I was like, instead of going small time with this like I normally do, I was like, I'm going to go big time with this. I'm going to take it to a level that I've never taken any other event to. But because he inspires me to do that, just by who Jared is as a person, I'm like, I can do this. And I told him about it because I had to get certain information from him to do what I wanted to do. And he's like, you're doing what? I'm like, just shut up and let me do my thing.
Just shut up and let me do my thing.
He's like, whatever you need, I got you. And I appreciate whatever you do. So now in my mind, I got a goal set of where I want to hit. And in his mind, he doesn't care, because he goes, anything's going to help. But he's intrigued to see what happens. I'm intrigued to see what happens. And I keep getting donations in I'm assuming up until the day that it happens, I'll probably be getting stuff in, because it's slowly getting closer. It's like 2.5 weeks away now. And it's going to be on Whatnot. And they were going to cover me on shipping and stuff, but now they don't have to, because they changed the way it works. You guys pay shipping, and I don't have to pay anything in shipping. And I think they're going to cover me on the fees also. So not 100% on that. I told them they could take their fees. I think they're going to refund me for the fees, but we'll see what happens. But I'm not taking it. I'm taking nothing out of it. It's just my time. And then I'll pack everything up and ship it out the door.
Well, that's really cool. So, as you're aware, CTV wanted to help, and I know I asked you, backstage if it had arrived yet, and it had not. But you have not seen the package
No,
that it's coming in.
I
So,
can't wait.
I'm going to world premiere. So, what we did for Dave is we actually commissioned and had a Big Dog Dave pop made. I think it looks just like you. I mean, I think he did a really good job, and he put the gray in the beard and stuff like that. I mean, there's not a whole lot of shots of you wearing like whole outfit shots. So he put you in a pair of plaid shorts and a black shirt and some Chuck Taylors on there.
Yeah, it's funny because I wore plaid shorts. I think I'm going to go back. I had to be 28, I think. 27. But I did have a pair that looked just like that at one point. And when I was powerlifting, I wore Chuck Taylors. Now I just wear slides.
Okay.
But I do have a pair of Chuck Taylors still. So it's not too far off. And I think it has
Not
a
too
black
far off.
shirt on, which I think is all I ever wear, except for
Yeah,
when I
well,
wear
that's
this.
all the videos, like we were looking through trying to see what you wore, and it was mostly black. So we're like, we'll just go with black. Now
Yeah.
here is what you haven't seen yet. And so, and you can't see this really well, but I will show you some detail in just a second. So it was funny that Mitch asked about lockers.
Oh, Jesus.
So I asked you what your favorite number was, and you said it was 18. And we were collaborating on what to do on the back. And so I said, well, he always gets all kinds of jokes about lockers.
Yeah,
And so I had him put the lockers on the back. But that's not the best part. The best part is we had him put the date of the auction. We had him put Puzzle Pieces Squared's logo on there as well as yours on the back.
I
so
like that.
Inside
That's awesome.
one of the lockers. So, I mean, ultimately, I would love it if whoever buys it, be it me, whoever, if they donate it back to you, because I mean, it was kind of a thank you for doing this, but as well, I was hoping that something that was you would also do well in the auction. But I wanted it to commemorate what you're doing. So I know you hadn't seen this before, so I wanted you to get a glimpse and everybody to get a glimpse of what is to come as one of the items.
I appreciate that. I think this is awesome. I like the I like how it's got like my sticker inside the locker too. But I like the date and the post, and I'm glad that like there's no blonde haired woman dead inside the locker, because that's the ongoing joke at this point.
Well, I thought about having him put like a clown mask in there too.
That would have been good.
But then we thought it was going to get a little bit busy, so we just did the auction with the lockers and then your logo and stuff like that and the date on it. So I mean, Gabe Miller does an amazing job, and so does Caitlin. That's actually how I met Caitlin. Is started watching her custom videos when I was trying to learn how to do them back when we were doing the auction, and that's how I met Caitlin. And so it's very difficult to do, and I know you've done a ton. And
I'm horrible at it though. I give credit to all those people that actually know what they're doing, because I just kind of, I mean, I make clowns. It's not that hard to do. I don't put any true detail into these things, except there's been like one or two that I claim that I did detail on, and it still looked terrible in my mind.
So how many items have you gotten in so far?
I think I have roughly 30 items right now. And that I think includes everything I've gotten in hand at this point. Most of it, I started posting on Whatnot. So there's if you go under my name, eventually it'll be a featured auction as it gets closer. But if you go on right now and under my name, which is Big Dog Dave on Whatnot, there's a little tag for the auction. And if you click on the tag, it'll show you everything posted right now. I think I have roughly 30 items there. But if not, there's some that I still have to put on the list. But I already know of at least like 3 more packages on the way, including yours. So, and then there's, which I have to get on top of, I'm adding a bunch of buy it nows of random stuff that I necessarily have like around my office or around my junk, because I have a lot of junk. Like lots of junk, like
your balls,
like these things.
Oh yeah, yep.
So like I have a bunch of those that I'll put up for like $10 each, and just as something to buy. So if you just want to donate $10, you get something out of it, you know. So not everybody's going to be able to bid on. I mean, anybody can bid on the customs. I just think certain ones are going to go really high, and because of that, it's going to be harder for people to try to win something and want to donate. So if they just want to donate like $5 or $10, I'll have little items up for like $5 or $10, just so it's like, oh, okay, I'll donate this and I'll just get something in the mail for it.
Now, if people can they reach out to you on Instagram? Guys, the reason we're doing the show tonight is because if you have not already donated, and if you have the means to donate it, whether it is a custom or whether it is a pop that you can donate, or any other kind of collectible item, we're trying to do a last push, because he does have 2.5 weeks, so that's more than enough time, no matter where you are in the U.S., that you should be able to get him something. If you guys haven't already donated, I'm kind of begging and pleading on Puzzles Pieces Squared's behalf. If you have the means, please reach out to Dave on Instagram. I don't know who's in here that's my admins, but if you guys could drop a link to Dave's Instagram account, reach out to him because obviously he needs more than 30 items to hit his goal. Well, maybe not, depending. I mean, have you seen some of those?
I mean, some of those are absolutely ridiculous. I think, and I see a lot of people tell me not to underestimate my customs, and I will say I'm very hard on myself because I envision something in my head and I know I can't physically do it because I just don't have that skill level. It's funny. I hated art for years. I hated doing it. I hated drawing. I hated coloring. I hated all of it. And about 2 years ago, for no apparent reason whatsoever, I started to enjoy it. And that's where this all came from. But I do appreciate some of the stuff I make. I think I make some really cool items. But there's some stuff that
Absolutely.
I have. There's some stuff I have behind me that's just absolutely unbelievable that people have created. And yeah, I mean, Divine was all scared about some of these. I was like, dude, do you see what you can do? Like, this is unbelievable. I never thought about trying to do this. And he's like, I test ran with a bunch of them and I'm just sending them all to you. I'm like,
so did he just do these dipped? Is that how he did those?
So he hydro dipped them.
Cool.
And then, so I didn't put it, but on the chest, there's a puzzle piece that glows in the dark on that one. I didn't know
you can see it.
He didn't tell me in the note that was that way. So I didn't get a picture of that glowing in the dark, which I still have to do. But he sent me like a Batman one that has glow, and most of the that one was donated. That one, if you could click over again, yeah, looks awesome out of box.
Absolutely amazing.
I'm
trying to find the ones we were talking about backstage, the Baby Yoda ones. So this one is cool too. I mean, you did this one, didn't you? No. Adrian did it. Okay, yes. So it's all puzzle pieces, and it's Huckleberry Hound
on both sides. So if you take them out, he's got puzzle pieces on the back also.
That's awesome.
B Cobbs is down a little bit actually. So
just pass your big thumbs down.
That was for WandaVision.
Okay. Does anyone else think the one on the right looks like Sinden? Just saying.
There it is.
All right. There it is.
There's B Cobbs. So
look at this thing.
Unbelievable. Like, so, I mean, when I first saw it, I'm like, what'd you do to it? And then I looked at it, I'm like, holy shit. And the base, so the base that it's sitting on, the base, you put like black light stuff on. So if you put that under black light, the base will react to it. And then, but yeah, I mean, he made it look really good.
There's the base. Did you see that the message from Ginger? He said, "Would you like to include a Jango Fett in your auction? I'd love to donate it." I know
absolutely.
It will do well.
Absolutely. Just message me on Instagram. I'll give you my address where to send it, and I appreciate it. I really do.
Look who just showed up, Mr. Divine. We were just talking about you.
Funko Pops and Unicorn said the Pink Dumbo Brandy acknowledged my work. LOL.
I'm getting to it. We were just talking about Baby Yoda.
And also the Hobgoblin one. Real fast. That one.
This one?
Yeah, so that's a custom base that he created. The pumpkin is blacklight sensitive, so under blacklight. And obviously it was, I mean, the paint on that is just ridiculous.
Yeah, he does a really good job.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll show Caitlin so Caitlin can stop crying.
She's up.
Down further, or
up,
is it
up?
There it is. Okay. Look how shiny and cute it is.
Oh, she did a great job also.
Oops.
And it comes with the thing.
The magnet, yeah.
Magnet.
I have a magnet. I have Marty on his hoverboard. And
then certain stuff. So in the auction, I'm creating a thing. So if you spend $50 or more on any item, you'll get a free something. So I'm kind of putting like a list of stuff together, and I'll throw it into a bucket, and whoever spends $50 on any item gets a draw from there, and you get something extra. Like the extra stuff's not necessarily anything that special, but it's to try to entice people. You know, you get something special with it. That thing's badass too.
These are really cool.
Yeah.
So this is actually Crayola times Kid Robot is actually something that Is
Yeah,
it? I've never even seen those before.
that was white, and then he decorated it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I thought it had like the design on it. He just like painted it and colored it in. I didn't know they'd done that. These lockers are super cool and very appropriate.
yeah, he came up with those also. He's like, I'm making new lockers. I'm like, great. Let's just exploit this for everything that it could possibly be. And then you
Absolutely,
showed me the box and there's a locker on it. I was like, okay. I'm not mad about it.
because it's just been the long running joke about you and your lockers.
2 years now. A year and a half, maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of lost track at this point. So that'll be in the auction.
It kind of looks like a baby Vision.
So I didn't buy it. I found this in the trash, and obviously it was a cute little baby angel thing opening packages, and I decided to paint his face with a metallic red, and then I painted his hair yellow and his outfit blue and said, here we go. And everybody's like, that's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, yes it is. So I was like, no reason not to put that up for auction. That got sent to Fox.
I may have issues and it's on a shitter.
Those two are awesome also right there.
These?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm pointing at what you can't see. So if you scroll over, you can see them out of box.
Oh, AP did these.
AP did the Ronald McDonald.
Okay.
And the Darth Vader was done by Miss Pussycat, who I know from Whatnot.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So that was her first one that she ever did, Miss Pussycat.
Oh, well, hey, that's talented. I mean, if you saw
That's
mine,
what I
actually, I think
like,
Caitlin owns the first one I ever did.
I was like, that's the first one you ever like. I tried to do that once, and I got glitter everywhere. Smitty donated all those. I've had that can sealed next to me for a week now. I haven't opened it.
Well, hey, there's something to be said for willpower.
I have no idea how I haven't opened it. I almost bought it the other day. I was going to donate like $25 and just open it. Knowing very well that I'm pulling a comment if I do.
Well, I'm not going to share the rest of it because I might get you rolling before we're ready. So, very cool things, guys. So if you guys have time or if you have the means to donate something, and I know people are really tight. Ginger said, my oldest son was diagnosed with autism. Anything I can do to help with anything regarding autism fundraising, I'm all for it.
And I appreciate everything. So everybody, I'm great with everybody donating. I need people to bid also. That's going to be the big part about it, is getting people to, and trust me, I think we'll do good at auction. I think a lot of stuff's going to sell. I think it's going to sell well. I really do. And, I mean, I already appreciate everybody for just even stepping up and donating anything. Because originally it was just customs, and I was like, I can't do just customs because not everybody wants to make a custom. And,
hey, peanut butter.
well, like my biggest one that I got, my biggest donation I got, and I love the man dearly. He's a great person. Is Curse from Spastic Pops. I messaged him a while ago. I was like, I'm doing this, and I hate asking businesses for anything. And I was like, look, I want you to make me a custom. He's like, I don't do customs. He goes, I just want to give you something. I go, okay. So I got a box in the mail, and I forgot that I had bought a mystery box. So I bought a mystery soda box, a little box. So I was expecting him to send me like a pop and maybe a gift card. And it was my mystery box. So later that day, I got a UPS delivery, this massive box. And I'm like, what did he do? And I open it up, and there's a Tech 63 12-inch inside, which is a $200 item. Mm-hmm. There's these 3 cupcakes that are like $30 or so, that are like designer toy cupcakes. And one's glow in the dark, and it might be worth more, or I don't know, and it's limited. And then there's another thing in there that I have no idea what it is. It's a cheese card. So it's a piece of cheese, looks like Swiss cheese or something, with a person inside it or some kind of figure inside it. And that's like a $60 item or something like that. I'm like, dude, what the hell did you send? But I was like in tears. I'm like, oh man, you guys are gonna break me down. But Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. Like I said, I got more stuff coming in. Allison, Mrs. JLH is working on something. Uh, I got yours coming in, which I appreciate. I don't know who's gonna buy me. That's gonna be a very interesting thing.
I think there's
Uh,
going to be a bidding war.
I am willing to send a pair of my boxers with it. I'm kidding. Unless that
Where's
entices you
Troy? You're
people.
stealing his gig.
Troy takes off his t-shirts.
And his diapers and his underwear.
Oh, there we go. Now Troy's gonna buy it just so he can get my underwear.
Exactly.
Uh,
Hey, Chris. Hey, Steele. Hey, Anthony.
Justin, who's Andrea's husband from my Goldilocks from Goldilocks and the Three Bears, they're sending me, and I'm gonna say it right because I joke with them that I'll never say it right. Or I'm gonna try a Guy Fieri autograph pop. Oh yeah, and it's tough because they know him kind of personally, so they're the only ones that have gotten autograph pops so far from him. Supposedly he doesn't sign a lot. That's not his cookbooks, and he signed a few pops for them because they know his best friend and she used to work for him or something like that. So they got a few autograph pops from him, and he's going to send me one for the auction. And I keep telling him it's Guy Ferrari. He's like, stop saying it the wrong way. I'm like, I can't say it the right way anyways. Yeah.
No, not you. I was commenting on how long you going to keep that comment up because it was answered a couple minutes ago.
Ginger Pops is bidding on the Guy Fieri.
Flavortown, heck yeah! I know Matt will. I will. I mean, that's awesome. I will fall asleep watching Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives at night. It's either that or America's Test Kitchen.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of Food Network, and then I realized I was really hungry at really late at night, and so I stopped watching it.
Yeah, well, I told you, it was like you hit me up like 20 minutes before the show, and you're like, link ? And I'm like, yeah, I'll be right there. And then I'm like, and I had to whip up some eggs and candied bacon. I mean, I don't do anything normally. I couldn't just throw bacon in the oven and just cook it that way. I candied it, pulled it out of the oven, threw the eggs in the bacon grease so they cooked with a little bit of Gruyere cheese over the top of them, and that was my dinner. Like, I'm ridiculous.
I do everything pretty normal. I don't cook that often because I'm afraid I'll burn the house down or something like that.
Take that off straight to Ginger Town.
But yeah, people seem excited about that one. See that? I didn't know how excited people were going to be about that.
Oh, heck yeah. Autograph stuff always does well.
I know people like him, and I know he's popular. I just don't know. I'm so, like, I don't know. I'm surprised he's still got a TV show. He's not canceled yet.
He's got, like, he doesn't
I'm being an asshole right now. That was leading up to leading up to everything being canceled at a certain point. But we're not going to get into that tonight because I want to try to have fun, and maybe I'll get into it a little bit later. But try to promote more of the auction stuff first.
Anthony, I did not get the most recent one. I got the last one, and that's where I got the. I don't even know where she is now. She's over here. I got the Asuna that's up there in the Grails.
I mean, I could.
But
keep asking how much and what I have.
Yeah.
I got 30 some auctions right now, people.
So check out his Whatnot. Is it under Big Dog Dave on Whatnot?
Yeah, Big Dog Dave is the name on Whatnot. I mean, I have it all sitting right next to me. Not that I'm going to show everything off, but
no, I mean you should have some surprises. But I mean, it's definitely good to get everybody hyped up.
Surprises are good, but I'd rather at this point. Surprises will be. I've been trying to post them on, obviously on Instagram. Here's my 10-inch clown custom.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's see if I can take them out and show them a little better.
You have 48 active listings right now, it says.
So I got 2 of these by accident. I wanted one for my niece, and then when I had a second one, I decided to clown him up.
Well, heck yeah. Why wouldn't you? Look at that hair.
He's adorable, and I was going to keep him. But I figured for a good cause, he's worth trying to get some bids on.
So it's the same logo as Instagram. He's got 48 items listed right now. And then
Yeah, really?
right here you can see that on the over here you can click on for the event. I don't know. Can you save this? I think you can tag it, can't you? Yeah. On watch list. Okay, so I tagged. You can actually tag it up in the upper corner, so that you can make sure that it reminds you when it's coming on.
Well, don't worry. I will remind everybody 1,000 times. But
Absolutely. And I'm going to be bothering people until then as well, just because you and I have gotten to be good friends and have talked quite a bit, and I know how hard it is, and as do many of the people that are in this chat, how hard it is to put these together and how to run them. And
that was my biggest fear was, and I think you kind of had it last time, or not necessarily the fear of it, but the process of shipping it. And my biggest problem with it was, and this is why Whatnot's great for me right now, is that I don't have to sit there and I was going to have to collect money for shipping because there was no way I could cover shipping on everything.
Right.
So to get the money for the donation and then shipping also was going to take forever.
Oh, absolutely.
Because people could pay right away, but if you want like 8 items and I have to ship them together, then I got to calculate shipping on 8 items. So this way, Whatnot just does it, and it's $350 flat rate for 4 items, no matter how big they are.
So right. So yeah, it could be a 10-inch pop. I mean, this is the cheapest way to get a 10-inch pop shipped.
So you could get 2 10-inch pops and still only pay $350.
I don't know how that works out for them. Like, I mean, they must have
because they ship so much that they get a business rate for shipping.
Okay.
So business rates give you big discounts. And if you're shipping a lot with the post office, they'll give you a heavy discount. Now, if they're losing on like 5 and they're making on 20, then it balances out over time. So at the end of the day, they're really not losing money on shipping because it's so few and far between where they would be losing money.
Mm-hmm. Well, because there's a lot of people just shipping cards now.
Well, there's cards, there's 1 item, there's 2 items. I mean, pops at the end of the day cost like roughly $5 to ship across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Cards to ship across the country cost nothing.
Right.
It's like $3 or something like that. Because even a good amount of cards doesn't weigh more than like 4 ounces.
Yeah, no, it's super cheap.
So
no, that's awesome. And so are you going to? Is your friend that is part of Puzzle Pieces Squared? Is he going to be available that evening? Like, if anybody has questions, or
I'm not sure. Like, he knows where to go for it. I just don't know how much he understands about it.
Okay.
He's still trying to figure it out. I was a while ago, and I meant to do it. I just never did. I was going to try to arrange to have him on so that he could explain it. But if you go to his site, which is puzzlepiecessquared.org, there's a bunch of different videos of him. I think there's one main video on his page where he's getting interviewed by somebody and kind of describes what the charity's about. And so that's why I try to send people to his website to see what he really does. Like, because I can say it and I'm passionate about it, but he's going to tell you so much better about what it is because it's his baby. So, and his kids are older now. They're both in high school, or that's the family.
And you said his 2 twin boys that are on the ends there are the ones that were...
They both had autism, and their other son, Spencer, did not.
So, as you can see, normally the gala, which you can see that last time it was scheduled was March of last year, and it couldn't happen because of COVID, but he normally raises about $18,000 at that, and that's a lot of money. $7,500, it says, covers 4 families, and or helps with 4 families, and that's super amazing. So, if we can make it a dent, and I know that we can because I've seen all of you guys do it before. And I know a couple weeks ago we talked about the ugly side of this community, but this has always been the bright, shining savior of this community. Is that when stuff like this happens, we always pull together and we make it good. I don't do the other show anymore, but all together, we figured it out. We raised over $6,000 in 4 months on that show, doing the different charities that we did, and
Yeah,
that's amazing.
it's always great, and it's always I try to support as many as I could find, and not to get. I don't care who's doing it. That's always been my thing. Like, I don't have to like you, but if I support what you're getting charity for, I'm going to help. I've done it through other people without realizing what I was giving to.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. It's not about the person on the other side necessarily. It's about the event. And I'm all for supporting charities that I care about. And like I said, this just happens to be one that hit home. Because I know Jared, and I know that 2 years of not having an event is going to hurt. And he still gets money. He still has people that donate money, and that, like, if you go directly to his site, there's a link up at the top where you can just donate to, which I'm more than happy if you want to go just donate money to it. But come to the event and you'll get something cool out of it too.
And if you read these stories about these families, so there's the P2 families, if you read some of these stories about how this charity has benefited these families and these kids, you get choked up. You get really choked up. I mean, look at this little sweetie in her graduation gown. I mean, there's so many new technologies and things, like you said, like they can reach some of these kids only through technological means, like computers and iPads and things like that, because it clicks with them, that we didn't have, or kids that were on the autism spectrum back when I was a kid, they didn't have these abilities and ways of learning and being taught. But it's expensive. And like you said, there's certain computers that they need and certain programs, and those all cost a ton of money. But it's just amazing. I don't know if
yeah, so it's the stories are the best. And when we were at the live events, he would have families there, so mothers would get up and tell how Jared has helped. And I mean, if you're not crying there, then it's just you have no soul. So right. I suggest you go read some of those stories and see how what he does helped out. And yes, this is very localized. This is a Jersey, Philadelphia, Delaware type thing. I wish every state had one of these. And maybe other states
too. It shouldn't matter, because the issue and the problem is global. So I mean, when we did the Pops for Patients, that was out of Tennessee. That went to Tennessee. Yeah. This is in Jersey. So certain times it's going to come around to our areas. If somebody takes on the initiative to start a charity auction of some sort, you pick where it goes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I wish there was a charity like this in every state to help out, and there might be other ones in other states that do the same thing he does. I just don't know,
My boys are high-functioning autistic, and I'm very fortunate by the fact that they are extraordinary little humans. I love your kids. They're adorable.
I love that your kids tell you what to do. Well, there's been stories that I've heard, and I'm like, that sounds great. I like that kid. Kiki Mama's Bear's like, of course you do.
I'm not sure who's more sassy tonight, Sassy Cajun or Clara.
Oh. Nothing with the sassy Cajun. I mean,
you get a sassy New Yorker or a sassy Cajun? I mean,
well, that's just a look, sassy Cajun. You can't be the sassy New Yorker.
Well, no, Caitlin's just a pain in the ass. We've already established that. We've already completely established that. So, can I push your buttons now?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's talk about cancel culture right now.
Let's talk about the release of the Seinfeld Pops. And one in particular struck a chord with you.
Yeah, so I got very, very excited about months ago when they started talking about the Seinfeld Pops. I love Seinfeld. I know it's not for everybody. I am a huge Seinfeld fan. And been waiting for the day for the Soup Nazi Pop to come out. And someone brought it up the other day and showed no pops for you. Someone brought it up the other day and showed the picture, and someone goes, "So you think they're gonna put Soup Nazi on it?" I go, "Why wouldn't they?" They made so in like 2003 or 5 or something like that. They made a wacky wobbler of the Soup Nazi and put Soup Nazi on the pop on the wobbler. So we're like, of course they're going to. Then it comes out today with this guy, Kev somebody. And I'm like, who the fuck is Kev? And I'm like,
as soon as all I saw was the glam shot. I hadn't seen the package yet. And I was like, oh my gosh, they made the soup Nazi. And I'm like,
and I'm sitting there going,
I was like,
there's one time. Now, granted, the guy was only on the show twice. He was on the show for his episode as the soup Nazi, and he was in the final episode where they brought everybody back. And when they brought him back, they said his real name. And you saw Jerry and them go, who the hell's this? And he walks out and they go, oh, the soup Nazi. And I'm like, how do you not fucking call this guy the soup Nazi? How corrupt and fucked up is this world at this point that something that is so pop culture in so many different ways, that especially that show in general, that show put words into our mind and phrases into our head and names on the books of shit that we've never heard of before. Yada, yada, yada was not a thing until that episode.
Right.
And now, like, after that episode, it became, like, common language. But now they're not going to put soup Nazi on it because it's going to fucking offend who? The show was made by Jews. It was ran by Jews. Everything has to do with a Jew on that show. And they came up with this phrase, soup Nazi, and they're not going to put it on the pot because it might offend somebody. And now,
that just started you off. And I was a little shocked about that. But then they'll put that would offend someone, but the fact that Kramer's running around in a pair of whitey tighties with a bulge in the front doesn't offend, like, the Hallmark moms.
Yeah, you got Kramer in tighty whities. You got George with a purple head, which is fairly accurate to the show, but not exactly accurate to the show. He didn't have the purple head. In the show, you didn't see him with a purple head until he was in the ambulance.
Right.
The triangle was over his head, and he was drinking that tea stuff that the guy made. And then his face turned purple when you didn't see him with it until he was in the ambulance. But that the not putting soup Nazi on that pop has damn near caused me to not buy this entire fucking thing. And it started before this, and I'm not a bad person, and I'm not for the rights of others or anything like that. And I don't necessarily mean to offend anybody, but if I do, it is what it is. You could offend me. It doesn't make a difference. It started with, I forgot what it is, the Moon Man, when they called it the Moon Person.
Moon Person.
And I'm like, here we freaking go. Because everything's got to be politically correct nowadays. And it's been the Moon Man for how long? Do they even call it the Moon Person, or do they still call it a Moon Man? Or
last I watched the MTV Awards, and, like, I really don't watch the music awards anymore, but last I saw, I thought they were still calling it a Moon Man Award. Like, I don't know if they've gone PC on it or what.
So I don't know if, and it's got MTV on the box, so MTV obviously approved it to be made. So to not call it the Moon Man, which it always was, I mean, the logo was the Moon Man. It was the man on the moon. And this, I know women have been in space. Has there been a woman on the moon yet? And if not, then technically it's not even being politically correct. It's just being correct. And I'm not trying to sound like a chauvinist ass.
And I don't take it that way. I get your point. It's like what they're doing with Mr. Potato Head now, where it's just going to be Potato Head. Because if you're going to do with that, do that with Barbie. Do it with Barbie.
But they also have a Mrs. Potato Head.
Exactly. And Barbie has Ken. I mean, you have the option of buying the boy version or the girl version.
Buy whatever you want. They make everything in every color now. And that's good. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, why can't we have things be what they are instead of just trying to conform everything into... I told you before, we're going to sit around and sing Kumbaya, but we can't anymore because it says Kumbaya, my lord, and that's going to offend somebody.
Well, here, Bob has a great point. On a network that glorifies underage girls getting pregnant, they need to worry about the gender of a trophy.
Thank you.
And I guess that is the point. And I know, like, there were... I can see... I'm not going to say I'm on one side or another. I can see certain things, but, like, even... And I'm not a part of it, okay? I have been a privileged, middle-class, Caucasian person my entire life, so there's things that I don't understand. And I'm not going to pretend to ever understand them, but there's things that are part of history, you know, like Gone with the Wind. That was one of the greatest movies ever made, and now it is completely offensive, and it's been taken out of libraries and everything else because it talks about slavery and antebellum South. That's still a part of our history. Good, bad, or indifferent, people, we still came from those roots, and it's where we grow from there. So I think those things should still be available to educate people. This is how it was. It doesn't have to be this way anymore. I don't think you should just erase it like it never happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't know where they're going.
There we go.
With this entire with the entire movement. It's just, I don't understand it. And look, I'm all for rights of humans and rights of people, and not to get political, because this is why I left Facebook. I mean, I left Facebook before the election, and it's not about who I was voting for or who anybody else was voting for, because at the end of the day, I didn't really care. I live in Jersey. I know who's winning.
Hey, Lori.
But it gets so vicious online, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like the last time I felt like everything was scary fine in this country, it took a national tragedy for it to happen. And that was after 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, it's just been a fucking disaster. There was like 2001 to like 2000, like, I don't know, 4, where everything seemed to be all right. Like, people were, in my mind, kind of like, we all still love each other and we're all one. And then it went, I just don't know what happened. And like I said, I will never claim that I understand. I mean, I don't know how a woman feels. I'm not a woman. I don't know how a person, Asian or black or Hispanic or whatever, feels, because I'm not them. I'm a white Jewish kid that's upper middle class. That's what I grew up.
Well, okay, so you are Jewish, and you're not offended by the soup Nazi.
No.
And nobody, I don't think, is glorifying what happened in Germany.
No,
it was just the name of a character in a show, and I think that's where it should be.
I think the problem now is that people throw around the term Nazi and Holocaust too much, and now you can't have anything with that. So right. The soup Nazi, as the creation of the soup Nazi, and for what it was worth, was funny. It wasn't anything about Germany. It was just about this guy, that the way he was about his soup.
And no soup for you. It was a very short statement, and he was iron-fisted about it. And if you didn't order it right, no soup for you. And it was funny. It's the same thing as the puffy shirt, and it's the same thing as the black and white cookies. Those are episodes, like, I wasn't a huge Seinfeld fan, but those are those and the shrinkage episode. 4 episodes that I can think of that.
I was in the pool. Does she know about shrinkage?
I was in the pool. It's shrinkage.
She looks at George. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then she looks down. She goes, "Oh, I'm really sorry." And I was like, that was hilarious. I mean, that was just funny. Shrinkage. It was shrinkage. It was shrinkage. I love Seinfeld. I did. I still do. I go back and watch clips online. I watch episodes when I can. But I've watched the behind the scenes and the stories from the people themselves, and Larry David talking about the shows, and that's why I find it funny. And Larry David, who created the show with Seinfeld, George was Larry David. Everything about George is Larry David. That was right. Larry David's character. And that's why it's so funny. Because when you see Larry David on, like, Curb, it's George from Seinfeld. It's the same character. Oh, yeah.
I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I hated it at first, and then I started getting the humor. It took me a few episodes of watching it to get it, but
I think that's why if people rewatch Seinfeld now, they might get it more. And the funniest part about it now is the show, the way it was made, could never be made now because of PC America.
Right. So okay, so let's talk. This is other thing. Somebody brought it up earlier, and I know that I've heard Clara talk about it because she picked it up. The Pepe Le Pew thing.
Oh yeah.
And Speedy Gonzales, like, these are classic cartoon characters, and there was no. Now it's considered insensitive, but there wasn't any insensitivity meant by it. I mean, Speedy Gonzales was in a sombrero, and 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 he ran around and he always got away. Like he was the smartest guy in the room when he was in those cartoons, right?
Well, yeah, and most people weren't offended by it. And the funny part is, if you look at what's going on, it's not. It's oh god, this is not going to be good. It's my opinion. Most of these people that are upset with by all this stuff aren't even the people that it technically glorifies or unglorifies. It's white class America that's getting upset about it.
Well, do you think? So I'm going to ask you: do you think it's because of everything that's happened over the past couple of years, and with the racial tension that's there? Do you think this is a way of everybody trying to make amends, if you would, to what has happened? And so now we're just doing.
It's a lame excuse of making amends. I mean, you should always be nice to people in general, but erasing television is not going to change anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at the way they're going with it, it's almost cult-like. It's like, here's what you can watch and here's what you can't watch. Like, censoring everything is everything we've ever fought against.
Correct. Freedom of speech. And I blame the parents of the world.
It's like telling me, so many things push me off Facebook in general. And the main thing was, it's like, and, oh, God, I don't want to get political. It's not my agenda. You're allowed to believe what you want. Politically, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care. I really don't. I could be friends with you, and we could totally disagree on politics. But you see people going, oh, well, you're against this. So when they riot and you're against it, and then they go, well, so are you for this when they storm the Capitol? No, those people are morons. Like, arrest them. Like, nobody's for that. Nobody. Right. No Republican I've ever talked to is for these people storming. Like, you can't storm the Capitol. Federal. Go to jail. Goodbye. Have fun in prison. I hope you meet your maker. Like, I'm not for that, but I'm also not for looting a business because you're mad. It's just,
Right. And it's wrong on both sides. Now, Caitlin brings up, says, as someone who was once close to someone who was a victim of sexual assault, I can see what they're talking about with Pepe Le Pew. I don't know what all I knew was all of a sudden Pepe Le Pew was getting pulled out of a movie, and I don't know exactly what happened. Are they talking about when he used to lean that animal over in the past and try to give her kisses, and she was trying to get away from him? The cat that got painted, a stripe down, and he thought it was a skunk. Like, I don't know what happened. That's why I'm asking. Like, I'm oblivious as to what started all of this with Pepe Le Pew. I heard about Mr.
Well, yeah, he's like a serial rapist or something like that, I think, and. I never looked at it that way. I mean, I grew up watching Pepe Le Pew, and it never caused me to want to do something like that to a woman. Now,
nothing deviant, no.
Now, not everybody's brain works the right way, but to cancel out everything we've ever known because it may affect one person or something like that, their brain working a different way, you could cancel everything out there. Their brain's still going to work that way. So exactly. You can't change somebody's mindset. It's like, there's always going to be racism. I'm not racist. I'm not for racism, and I think it's a bad thing, and people can have their opinions, and I don't have to agree with them. But it's not going to go away.
And I agree with McDork's point here. It could have just been changed in character. So, again, I work for condominium associations, and in their governing documents, one of the things that it says is just because a board did something wrong before doesn't mean that they have to do it wrong in the future. So if the character was offensive, it wasn't offensive in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and probably into the 90s. If it's offensive now, don't take the character away like it never existed. Change the character to promote whatever you're trying to promote for this period of time.
I mean, in general, and it hasn't happened yet, but based off anything that happened in the past, Disney should shut down.
That's true. Almost every single Disney movie has something sexual in it.
Sexual, racist. Disney is guilty of it all. Mm-hmm. With every single character. Every character they've ever created is guilty of it. So Disney runs the world, and it's just not going to happen. I mean, they did change the ride at Disney World, the log ride, and that pop is out there. And again, to me, I never knew what it was about, but I never knew it was offensive. But in general, 99% of what Disney has put out over the years has been sexually something, has been racist in a way, and has been bad. And I'm just at the point now where, like, I just can't. I don't know. Canceling out everything is just, I don't understand. Saying it never happened, like, let's learn from our mistakes instead of just canceling it, but just delete it from history. How are you supposed to learn and overcome if it doesn't exist?
Yeah, if you're not taught any better, it's like touching a stove. Until it happens once, whether it's when you're 2 years old or you're 30 years old, the first time you touch a hot stove, you learn, I'm not going to do that again. So why not educate people? And that's the whole point is, okay, so this character, we'll just take Pepe Le Pew. This character, you don't treat women like this. This is why, women like to be respected, blah, 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 blah. Here's, this is how you should treat a woman, blah, 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 or a man, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. I agree with you, like, and I'm not saying that it should be in your face. So I'm not saying that every single person should run around with a Confederate flag on their shirt. It shouldn't be in your face either. You shouldn't be uncomfortable, but at the same time, taking down every single historical statue that, whether it only seems to be certain cultures trying to get it out of other cultures' faces. And I mean, it's like Robert E. Lee, he was still a general in the Civil War. The Civil War is why we no longer have slavery. He's still a historical figure in this country and was part of that war that shaped our country. You still need to know what he looks like. You still need to know, about that. And so we learned from that. We no longer have slavery. We started treating people like they were human beings. I mean, it still needs to happen. There still needs to be education, but you got to start from the building blocks of when it was the worst. Show how it's better. What'd you say?
All right. Sorry about that.
Well, that's okay. Are you working?
I'm at work. I'm not necessarily working. I work. I don't have set hours.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's what that was about.
Well, Sharon says, when are they going to attack Fantasia? There's so many different things. I mean, okay, so what? Now we're going to take the pink elephants out because they're about drugs, or we're going to take the hippos out because it's chubby shaming. Like, you're right. Where does it stop? And I mean, I understand that there's certain groups, and I will never understand it. I'm not Jewish. I didn't have a family member that was in a concentration camp. I have read books on it. We have a museum here, which I really want to go see. It actually has one of the train cars. Like the glasses and the teeth and all of that. And I want to go see that because I need to educate myself more about how to be sensitive to what that was. But I could tell you one thing. I met someone in my 20s that had the tattoo on the arm. And that is the most amazing conversation I've ever had with a senior citizen in my entire life.
It's scary. I did not have family in it, in the concentration camps. My best friend growing up, his grandmother was, and she had it on her arm, and I met her plenty of times, and she was a wonderful woman. But it's a scary thing to see and to know that it could happen. Look, we took our own citizens in the U.S. and put them in camps. Also, we didn't do to them what Germany did to them, but because of the bombing with Japan, we took our citizens and threw them in camps, and it was terrible. And I'm not denying that ever happened. And I've learned about it, and I've read about it, and I learned about it in school, and it sucked. It sucked. It was a bad time in our country's history, and we've had plenty of bad times in our country's history. But if you don't share those stories, and because not everybody knows about the Japanese concentration camps in America, and they should. It was an ugly time for our country, and we have ugly times in our country, but hiding it doesn't help anybody. Knowing the history of our country and other countries, and seeing the stuff that has happened, and is the only way to almost prevent it from ever happening again. You got to know the truth, to know the facts, to know what to watch for, and what to know what's going on. If you give the government too much power, they're going to do whatever they want, and you can't let them have that power.
Right. And it's, we talked about cartoons. Eric says, kids watch 28 to 32 hours of cartoons a week. That's the other sad part is everything is, instead of being, it's in your face now. I mean, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, news and mostly bad things on the news are in your face. So the moment something happens, it's shoved in everyone's face, whether it comes across on your cell phone, it comes across on your computer, it comes across on your television. Whereas before you would get it, your nightly news, news ran at 6 p.m. and like 8 a.m. or whatever it was back in the day. And then on Saturdays was the day for cartoons. You had something to look forward to, and it was all innocent fun. You had Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. I mean, are they going to take those away because they beat up on each other? Is it considered domestic abuse? Violence? I mean, if you look at the stuff that these kids watch now.
I mean, SpongeBob is not a great show. There's so much going on in that show if you read between the lines. I think they did cancel Kalu, Kiki Mama Bear. It might still be on TV, but it's been canceled from what I heard.
Oh, so Smitty said, I interviewed a survivor in the Camps for College course, and it was very enlightening conversation hearing at the same time. Exactly. I mean, I was in tears during parts of that conversation because with this woman, because of the fact that when you hear, I mean, just the struggle that they had and the hunger, like, I can't imagine being hungry. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine being that hungry. I've never known that hunger.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, that movie who did it? It was Spielberg. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Schindler's List?
Yes. Most accurate description. That movie's been praised for that. Is as accurate as it can get. And if you've never watched that, I'd say go watch it once. I even watched Passion of the Christ. I have no idea what I watched, and I still don't understand what happened, but I watched Passion of the Christ.
The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is another one where they switch positions, and the white privileged child switches clothes with the little boy in the concentration camp, and the little, I think it's the director of the concentration camp, and his son ends up going to the gas chamber because he happened to be wearing the outfit. Spoiler alert. Hey, Sensei Serum, how are you? But I understand what you're saying, and I didn't want you to have to wait till Friday, because of the fact that I hate holding that stuff in, and then you lose kind of your train of thought. And if you want to get something out, and hey, guess what? We're already controversial. I will probably lose subs over this tonight. I'm gonna be like, can you believe what they said? No, nobody's condoning any sort of ism or to be an ist of any kind. It's the fact that it's starting to get. It's been going.
It's been out of control for a long time, and it's the problem is everybody's easily offended by nothing. It's like I'm not like you almost can't have an opinion. Like it was like Carrie Dunn getting fired. Two things in Hollywood you never do: you never say Holocaust, and you never support you never compare it. You shouldn't, because in general you shouldn't. You hear it all the time on political shit. And people that are stupid of no concern talking about the Holocaust, but if you're in Hollywood and you're working for a bunch of Jews up there, you don't mention the Holocaust because they're gonna fire you out.
So I missed what Sharon said, so I'm gonna go back up here and find what she said. Sharon said, "Look at what our government did. The Trail of Tears, and most kids these days don't even know about that." Honestly, no. One little dude that is my nephew, because that kid reads book about history. He'll go through 300 pages in a couple of hours. The kid just absorbs every single piece of knowledge that he can get, and he asks questions, and that's the good thing. Like, we've taken him to Greenfield Village, and if you guys haven't heard of that, look it up. It's henryford.org or thehenryford.org, and you look up Greenfield Village, and I don't find it offensive. They're actually in your face about some things and about how life was, and there's a whole section dedicated to it's not who's the guy that did the seeds? Was it Washington Irving? He started, I don't know, but you could see the difference between how slaves lived versus the plantations, and also like through the years how things have changed. And I see history no different as technology. So if we didn't advance in history and get better, then we would still be stuck in the same old ways that were in 1860. It's the same thing with technology. If we didn't work on things, educate ourselves, and get better, we wouldn't have computers that fit in the palm of our hand.
In your pocket.
or in your pocket. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's the same thing. It's all about education and how you handle that education and how you handle that knowledge. And Nancy's in here. I don't know if anybody else is a teacher, but I mean, a lot of that is it goes on the teachers. The teachers have to. They're the ones that shape people as they grow up, and they have a hard job.
It's teachers, but it's also parents, and it seems like, and I say this from the teachers that I've talked to, that I was friends with, that I am friends with, and it's like parents are trying to put it on teachers to do all the work now, and I'm like, it's still a parent's responsibility to raise their child the right way and teach them, and just basic manners. I mean, it's tough out there. I get it. I don't have kids for a reason. Not a big fan of having them. Don't really want to bring them into this world. I don't even know if this is the world I want to be with right now. But
mine's sleeping in a tiny bed, curled up in a ball with fur all over her right now.
Exactly. Which they don't last always that long. Like, I know my lab's not going to live past 10 years, and it terrifies me that he's 4 right now.
You never know. Mine was, I think, 13 when he died.
Yeah, I mean, I had one die at 7 also, so that's why I say 10's like the average. But lost train of thought. I mean, people just in general have to be nicer to each other. It's so much more than, like, it's so simple to be nice, and it's not even like be nice just because of somebody for race or whatever. Hold the door for somebody. Say thank you to that person for holding the door for you. Mm-hmm. Like, don't just walk in and not say anything. Like, it takes 2 seconds to go, thanks. And just the acknowledgement of it can put a smile on someone's face. Or if someone cuts you off in traffic, now, sometimes and most of the time, they're probably not paying attention. But you don't know what's going through that fucking person's mind that day. Mm-hmm. They could be anything. And trust me, I've gone off the deep end and screamed at people, but then you sit there and you back down and you calm down and you go, okay, I can only make this situation worse. So you back off and you just, look, I've pulled off the side of the road before because I'm going to lose my goddamn mind on the highway.
Right.
You get off, you go to a rest stop, you go to Wawa, you get a drink and you calm down. It's little things, just like, if we all stop trying to piss each other off over every little fucking thing in life, we wouldn't come down to the fucking fact that we don't get along on everything, and we will never get along on everything, and we'll never agree on everything. And that's the great part of life, that you can disagree, and it's fine at the end of the day, as long as it's not stupid what you're disagreeing on. Like who don't even want to go down those. Like,
no, but I know what you're saying, and I think that you're better articulating what we were trying to say 2 weeks ago, and it was just like, everybody stop just hating on each other, and can't we, like, I hate to use the phrase because it's so cliche, but can't we get along?
Well, that was, I mean, my post today. I said I'm going live Friday night. Come by and hang out. Don't come by. Say hi if you want, or don't come to my live at all. I don't care. And I'm saying that now. You don't have to show up on Friday. I really don't care. It's an absolute shit show. And whoever's there will have fun. And if you want to watch somebody else's show, I'm fine with that. Watch whoever you want. If you want to watch mine, fine. If you want to watch it tomorrow, fine, or Saturday, fine. You don't have to be there that night. You're not missing anything. It's just a bunch of people hanging out, having a good time. And yes, it is happening on other channels, and that's perfectly all right. But at 10 o'clock is when we can go live and do this, and we'd like to do it once a month, and that's it. And if I'm interrupting anybody, I'm sorry. And if I'm stealing from you, I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. I'm going to have my fun with my friends who want to be there, and I hope your friends love yours. And maybe I'll watch your show later on, and maybe you'll watch mine. And you know what? But I just don't care anymore. It's like, I haven't posted a video. I got videos ready to post, and I haven't done it because I just don't care right now. It's like my toughest thing, and I go through these emotions, and I go through them often, where I just can't watch videos anymore. Mm-hmm. There's a certain point where you see the mystery box, and you're just like, what am I watching? Like, I've watched 35 mystery box videos today. I can't do it and I'll go a month and a half without watching a video of anybody's. It's not disrespect. It's just I can't do it. I physically, mentally am so drained of it that I can't do it anymore. And then I come back full force and I watch it for 7 days straight.
Yeah.
Right now I'm watching Numbers on Hulu, which is a show that was out years ago. I just got done watching Bones on Hulu because I need that. Like, I don't know. I need that in my life because it just kind of calms me down. And I don't watch TV, so those are my TV shows that I watched from 10 years ago. But I can't sit there and watch Mystery Box over and over and over and over. And even ones that I really like, of channels that I really like, I just can't do it right now. It's physically, like, mind-numbing to me.
And,
it doesn't even entertain me anymore.
Like, you're not doing. You call yourself Collector TV, but the last, you've been doing shows that aren't anything about collecting, and you've done some heavy topics. We have fun. I mean, we just did an episode about tiny things, and then we had JLH, and we were talking about mattresses. I mean, there's fun things, and sometimes there's things that you just need to say or you need to get off your chest. And I'm sorry, I'm surrounded with almost 600 of these behind me. It doesn't have to be fun all the time. Like, if you have this platform, you can use it for more than just showing off butthole Masters of the Universe guy.
So JLH mentioned in his show yesterday, he's like, and I was talking to him about it, and that's why it kind of came up. He kind of hinted at it. He's like, Dave's got a show that's coming up soon. And when you hear about it, you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. But it's hilarious. And it kind of is, because it was, I sent them a package the other day, and when they opened it, if anybody saw it, they had, oh, they're not easy.
I saw it.
So there's the balls were in there.
The ball with the sequins on it.
The balls. He's like, the balls. And so I messaged him. I go, I really should just go out and buy a bunch of these stupid balls and open them on my channel. And he goes, I even got a name. And so the name of the show, and when the segment finally happens and the videos eventually drop, is going to be called Breaking Balls with Big Dog Dave.
Okay.
So I won't be breaking anybody's balls, but I'll be opening balls on my channel. And
well, they have these balls too that you can get. You can go down that rabbit hole too.
So much. Here's the problem, because the little food reminds me of something from when I was a child, and for whatever reason it like haunts me, because like I don't know why.
But it's so cute. But get the toys, Dave. Get the toys. The toys I like the toys so much.
Yeah, but they're $10 a ball.
No, they're not. I got mine for $7 a piece at Target.
I'm with the GameStop. They were $10 a ball.
You're buying them in the wrong place.
I didn't buy them. So Dave's gonna play with balls on his channel.
Look it.
Yeah, I see it. It's a little Ninja Turtle mask.
I know, but if I put it up big enough close to the camera, it looks like I'm wearing it.
I'm gonna end up putting it on a clown, like one of my mystery mini clowns that I make. He'll go out for Halloween. That'll be his.
It's so cute, though. I mean, but I'm just saying, if you're gonna break balls, if you don't want to do shiny sequin balls, puffy balls.
I mean, well, that's the funny part about it. Like, I'm gonna go out and get like LOL surprise balls and open them. Because what's funnier than watching me open LOL surprise balls?
I was rolling just watching you open those stuffed ones, and then you're like a Care Bear, and you were like all excited. I got the Lucky Bear. Yep.
I kept the Care Bear. The sequin thing pissed me off more than anything else in the world. And JLH's reaction to it when he did it in his video, where he just kind of tossed it to the side, was the exact reaction I pretty much had.
Steel, just to let you know, the turtle mask is dope, but they also have mini Ninja Turtle figures that are in the blister packs as well in those.
The reason I like the toy, it reminds me of the world's smallest.
Yeah.
So, like, the world's smallest toy is like with the world's smallest, like, He-Man, which is a little tiny He-Man's little tiny package. And I'm like,
what did I do with him?
The Reasonable Gentleman loves that stuff. I'm just like, I don't get it.
We just did a show on those, and I had a duplicate one. I sent them all back. The other ones all back to my mom. Oh, he's right here. Hang on.
This is so you could all see this. This is going to be the next clown. Yeah, this is the world's smallest G.I. Joe. Which one is that?
This is Duke. No, yeah, First Sergeant. So, well, it says First Sergeant, but yeah, Duke. It says Duke on the bottom.
There you go. So this is the next clown.
Gomez Adams.
And he's gonna be like, because I was looking at the suit. Yes, I detached the head. Yeah, exactly. That's my theme song to the show, and I might sing it, which will be even scarier.
I've got big balls and cannot lie.
So it looks very much like the Joker for me that I can do with this.
Oh yeah, there you go.
The Joaquin Phoenix Joker. He's a nut job too.
I got beach balls, Ginger. That's what McDork said.
I don't want to know about your balls, dorks.
Need those for Turtle Tuesday? Yes, you do. And there, but Steele, did you saw? Yeah, you saw Mikey.
Is Steele his real name?
Yes,
That's awesome.
Steele. Did you got named Steele because of the Steelers, right? That's why you guys are big Pittsburgh fans.
It would be funnier if he became a Ravens fan. Like his family would disown him, and he'd have to change his name. But
So Eric wants to know what got you into doing customized pops.
it saved my sanity. Honestly, I was drawing at the time. I started drawing, and my drawing pictures sucked. People loved them because it looked like a child drew them. It was like my gimmick when I would send packages out. You get a drawing. If you got a drawing, you must have been lucky. And they were stupid things. The best drawing I ever had was somehow I made a. What's up, Luau? I made the glob from Ghostbusters, that green thing.
Oh, Slimer. Yeah.
I drew Slimer giving the middle finger. It was the best drawing I ever did, and I stopped after that.
It's chocolate and a set of stickers in the box for you. The other set.
Wait till you see the custom Ken did for this charity auction.
Ooh.
Like B-Cobs are awesome. Ken's is ridiculous.
What's going on, Andrew? How are you?
So one day I sat there. I was like, I need to do something more than drawing. So I had common Funko Pops I couldn't get rid of. And I'm like, I was talking to Justin from Pop in Hand for a while, and it's like, you should start painting clowns. It's like, you love clowns. Paint clowns. I go, okay. I go, if I paint you a clown, he hates clowns. Will you keep it? He goes, yes. If you paint me a clown, I'll keep it. I don't think he ever thought I'd do it. So I got a stitch, and I painted it into a clown, and I sent it to him.
Ginger's still stuck on balls.
Well, that's a Ginger for you.
That's what she said. And you've just stuck to mostly just the clowns. You haven't really ventured off into anything else?
Twice. So 2 of the charity auctions that we did before, or the 2 charity auctions that we did before, I made a Pusheen into Charizard, and I made Baby Yoda into Pikachu.
Oh.
And I've been trying to inspire myself to do that again. I just can't do it. It like, I for whatever reason, I have to be like in a certain mood to do something a certain way, and I just can't get back. Like there was about a good like 2 months where I owed Eric a clown, and I was just not in the mood to make any. I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't want to do it, but I owed it to him, and I had to get it done. And then something kicked in one day, and I made like 6 of them in a day. And I sent him one because I owed him a clown. And so it kind of goes through those trends where sometimes I just don't want to do it. If I don't want to do it, I won't even attempt. Because I've attempted to do it when I don't want to do it, and ended up just throwing it away because it's just awful. And that's probably my madness sometimes that comes with it, is like certain ones I'll keep the heads of where I started to do something, or keep the body, or throw the body away because the body didn't come out the way I wanted it to. And I'm just like, I can't repaint this again. I'm just tired of it, and I'll just chuck the body. So I got random heads laying around that like don't go with anything at this point.
Well,
And that's like,
I got a broken one here.
which one's that?
The back in black Angus Young.
Oh, we can make him into a clown.
Oh yeah, you could easily make him into a clown. You could do it like an old school black and white clown.
That's interesting. I haven't thought about one like that. Or like, so I guess the other one that I did that wasn't a clown was I took a Princess Leia and I made her into Darth Maul. So I gave her the Darth Maul face and I painted her outfit black. And I sent that one to Justin a while ago. And I'm
Hey,
a little
Joanna.
upset that I got rid of that one because it was probably one of my favorites I've ever done. But I've been thinking about doing like something like that again. But I need the right paintbrush for it, which I don't have right now. I need a very fine point paintbrush to make the small lines.
Yeah.
So at some point, I'll try to do others. See, I like with the clowns, the body can stay the way it is. I don't have to do anything to the body.
Right.
Because really, at the end of the day, it's about the face and it's about the clown. And a clown can be on any body. If I do like Darth Maul or something like that, then I feel like the body has to match. So I gotta at least black out the body or something like that. So it's just it's mental games. There's a few other ones that I've done that have been absolute favorites. Larry has one. I took the alien head and made it into Pennywise.
Okay.
Because the way it flared out. And I want to do that with the group Venom is my next idea.
Did you see what?
That one.
Did you see this? Look for nail art brushes, Dave. That's what I use for the fine details.
Sounds like an idea.
So you can go to like a Sally Beauty salon or Sally Beauty Supply place, and you can probably get those easily.
I need brushes for my nails. I have no nails. I bite them off.
Like, so do I. It's like, look.
Fix me.
I'm a hand model. Show the pinky.
I am not a hand nor foot model. I don't know what I'd be a model for at this point. I mean,
well, so we've been doing this show since what, August or whatever. I have another one of these, but it's just the plain one, the Vanzer.
Yeah.
I want to turn the one that's plain. I'm going to put the CTV. I'm going to paint the CTV logo on it and make him look kind of like an old school TV. Turn the eyes into the dials and then put the antennas up. But I haven't done it yet. It's like you. It's like once I get going, I can go and go and go. But it's like getting the motivation to actually do it, and I haven't done that yet.
Oh yeah, the motivation sometimes is just killer because you're just tired or you're just not in the mood to go down that road. And if you screw it up, then it's just like if you already have the anticipation that you're going to screw it up, there's no point to start.
Caitlin has a good point. You can also get those on Amazon, and no one has to know that you're looking for nail art brushes.
I want to go to the store and get my nail art brushes.
but Eric says that they'll slap you in a chair and trim you down.
What are they trimming? Because the beard's not going to be touched. And nowadays with COVID, they're not touching me anyways.
Well, that beard's gotten amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a certain point where I shaved it off.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, I guess it was at this point. And at one point it was longer than it is right now. And I had
See you soon, Mama.
I hit a tree with my car and had to go to court. And I shaved or cut it off dramatically so that the prosecutor wouldn't think I was some scumbag, and it didn't help me anyways because he was a dick. But I regretted that, and I shaved it off at one point. There's somewhere, it's probably on Facebook somewhere. There's a picture of me with a shaved face, but it's been a good 2 years, I think, since I've done that, and I haven't had a haircut since June. So I got some wicked thing growing in the back. I don't know how.
Mullet going?
What? It's
more
than a mullet though at this point because it's everywhere. But it takes like an hour to wash my hair. It feels like now, and I'm just not used to this. I'm like, I don't like this.
Well, unfortunately, my sister-in-law does hair, so if I need it colored, which I do because I've got the whole reverse Jay Leno thing going on again, and it needs cut, then I'm like, all right, Friday night, can you do it? And she's like, yeah, come on over, and then at least I get to see the littles. I haven't been able to see the littles in almost 3 weeks now because of being exposed to COVID.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody because of COVID. I gotta get the shots. My sister won't let me see my new niece until I get the shot. I think the only person in the family to see her so far has been my mother. So grandma's happy.
Yeah.
But she was born in February. Grandma finally got to see her.
What day?
I have no idea. You kidding me? I have no idea.
I was asking because my birthday's the 17th, so I wanted to know if she was close.
I think it was before that. And then, I mean, I barely remember my 9-year-old niece's birthday right now. It's somewhere in September. All I have to do is buy her. Talk about the most spoiled child on the planet. My 9-year-old, she's 9.5. So she celebrates half birthdays and has since she's been like 3. So she's like, I'm 9.5. I'm like, so? She's like, I get gifts. I'm like, for what? I'm like, I'm 40.5. Give me something. She's like, you're too old. I'm like, you're a brat.
You're a brat.
Well,
all right, guys. Well, we got to wrap it up because it is almost 9 o'clock. April 2nd. What time is the auction starting on whatnot?
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
8 p.m. Eastern Central Standard Time. Eastern. Okay, sorry.
I mean, if Eastern and Central at the same time, I have no idea.
No, there's about an hour distance. So April 2nd, Eastern, on Whatnot app at 8 p.m. And if you guys have anything that you can donate, we still have about 2.5 weeks to go. We still have time to get it over to Dave. Like he said, he's got about 30 items. There's more stuff coming.
I'll take anything, even common pops that you don't want. Like, I'm going to put them up for $5 each and just let people buy them.
So it's all going for a good cause. Please check out Puzzle Pieces Squared. I think it's .org. Let me look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. puzzlepiecessquared.org. Go and check out the amazing charity that Dave is doing this auction for. I thank you guys all for coming tonight and appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week. We have the pain in the ass herself, Funko Pops and Unicorns, is coming on to actually talk about something that is something that she actually wants to talk about instead of things I force her to talk about. So she chose the topic for next week. We are going to be doing DC animation, 7:30 p.m. next Tuesday. We'll see you Saturday on Clara's channel. Go check out Mama J. All right, guys. Everybody have a great night. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Don't get too drunk tomorrow. If you need a ride, don't call me. All right.
Don't call me
you guys later.